Josiah, I do think that your video wanted to be well intended, and I also think that as your message is shown that you are a Christian. Before I will say my arguments against your last post, I do believe that you are not bringing any good, because you don't bring any Christian values, and honestly I do think that your message will bring the service for Christianity in general. I'm a Christian too, but I do believe that your message is fully wrong, and in the next moments I will tell you why. First, and even this it will be enough, I think it's that Jesus said that you have to love your enemy, and even you will think that the evolutionist in general it's your enemy, you'll have to love him or her, and your message will have to be at least calm down. Second, if you think that evolutionists are Christ-denialists, I also think that you are wrong here. I'm a Christian, but in the very same moment I have no problem to any level that evolution is true, and in the very same time that Jesus Christ as a person, as the Son of God, is true. One thing, I hear about evolution explain the diversity of life, and the other thing is explain how we should relate in our morality, how we should relate with God, how we should relate with our fellows, how we should say the word, how we should say the word about God, how Jesus said to us to go, for example, 2 by 2, how we should handle fasting, how we should understand the 10 Commandments, how we should understand the relation with sin after just a sacrifice. All things have no relation with evolution, even you believe it or not. The evolution is a lie. It's not thinking in evolution will not make you in this way a Christ-denialist, because this is not what Jesus was about. Also, there are things that you may think, look, that Jesus said that he was a part of the creation, and even this is true. The creation as you think it is may not be as true, because those are complex things that Jesus said, and you have to understand them. But even of this, you have just to read and to see the message, because otherwise you lose the meaning. If you say, for example, taking literalistically, look, in book of Job, I can say to you, there are the pillars that sustain the earth, or if you read the Bible, you'll understand mostly that the earth is flat, and you'll see, and you can say to me, look, but this passage is clearly allegorical, you should not take it literal. And I can say to you, picking the same analogy, it's like an analogy, as the earth, for example, it's flat or not, okay? I think you don't think that the earth is flat, but just to say, if you think that the earth is flat, and I have no problem if you would believe this, but if you'll come to say to other Christian, you have to believe that the earth is flat, because otherwise you will attack the word of God, you will attack the word of Job, you will attack this or that passage. You will feel that that person should not say too much about it. And I think that if you come to a guy and say, you have to believe, if you take the God literal, you have to believe that the earth was sustained by pillars or things like it, when a person will hear your message, will judge you, and will not help to you to say every word about Jesus. But I will go even further. In evolution standpoint, it's really very easy to be disproved. If, as I see as a poster, and you sustain what he said, in one other post, mostly everything what he said, and I see all of his parts, and I'm not advanced biologist or chemist or things like so, but in either way, I can disprove every statement of him. And why? Because he mostly, as he say, even in the first part, to see that I saw the part, that he is an evangelist, that promote the gospel, and as a priest, to say so, a priest that promote the gospel will have a little knowledge about how word works, at least on the biological stars level. And the Bible, at least in this point, may not be that good. But if I can attack him, don't take my words on it. But my point that I simply wanted to say is that it's really nonsense. But you can look on a lot of other person that attacked Ken Hovind and show to him that mostly he was not right. And it's mostly like you'll promote the ridicule of a guy that is creationist, you'll put Kent. But I don't want to associate you with this guy, but his statements of today knowledge about biodiversity, the stars formation, the geological terms, or everything that Kent mostly said with his theory, or things like it, are the same as you will say today the world is flat. And when you or myself I say, look, the earth supposedly is not flat, he will say, go on the top of the mountain and you'll see that everywhere you look around it's flat. It's not, but mostly it's a good approximation. But even people as myself, or in general Christian, will be a denialist, this will not be still a problem, because everyone denies verses of the scripture, and I will put you yourself to think about it. Think that most likely you know that you have to keep the Sabbath, as it's a law of God, and you have to rest the seventh day. So if you don't keep the Sabbath, I can put you in a category and I will say, look, you are a Sabbath denialist. It doesn't matter that sometimes you have to work extra for your job to give some money for a child. You don't have this age, seems so, but to say so. And this is why I can say to you, look, you are a Sabbath denialist. You have an exam on the Sabbath. And but also as a Christian, if you are a mainstream Christian, probably you keep the Sabbath Sunday. And I can say to you, look, you are a Saturday Sabbath denialist. But who knows, you may be one Christian that keep the Sabbath Saturday and not Sunday. You still have the same problem, because probably you know that there are verses that will put you to take, like, you, if someone do some work on Sabbath, you have to kill him or her. So people will not do work on the Sabbath. Would you kill someone if you know that works on Sabbath? I would not. But I would not encourage you to do it. I think you will not do it. But I can say to you, look, you are this verse denialist, that there is certainly a law that you have to kill someone that works on the Sabbath, and you have samples on the Bible. So even as for myself, I would deny a part of the, but don't think I deny it, because if you think that, just to put the example of the Sabbath is about the message, is that you have to have a relation with God, and you have to have a day mostly dedicated week by week to honor God. It's the same that you will have to, taking the Jesus messages, that you have to do fasting, you have to pray, you have to read Bible. Those things as a message to understand are really clear. I worked in aviation in the past, and I do understand mostly that science is not evolution here, but just to say one point, that without science a plane will not fly right, the planes will crash one on the other, and mostly those things are not happening. And the reason why is that the advancement of the science made this possible. But even the science, here it's clearly that have its advantages. The same, going to the point of evolution, will make things also clear that without it we will not test on mouses, we will not test on dogs, or on monkeys, or on pigs. But as today we understand evolution, we understand how life is and how it behaves, we can do those tests confident that mostly they will work on humans. And that was mostly all my point, is that probably if you are a sane Christian, by sane I want to say that you will not want to kill someone, that look, there is a verse too extreme that you have to kill someone because he don't believe that you don't have to keep the Sabbath. You will not do it even on Sunday or Saturday. Also, you will not take even, for example, the pillar that sustained the earth of the book of Job. So probably you will have sometimes to think, look, probably this passage means other thing. I also don't want even for yourself to say, look, evolution is the way of being. I really believe for myself it's tested, so I have much more reason to believe that is true. But the issue for you, I think in your message, beforehand even, I can talk with you, I can debate with you if you want as a Christian that evolution is right. The biggest mistake is that you don't love your enemy, you don't love your friends, you put person in category, you say lies, and everything will make every person that supposedly will think on your authority about God will want to know, give me one verse that say about what should I understand from the fasting, how should I make it, how should I understand that the Jews escaped from Egypt, how should I understand that there is the sin is forgiven from Jesus. Every passage you will take, you will get much bigger sense if you talk with people and you give to them the right authority. If you talk beforehand, look, if you think that the earth is flat, you're stupid. If you think that whatever, you're bad, will be a kill switch for everyone who listen to you and will make to you look, even you may not be a dishonest, with very low values, and this will hurt you, will hurt your message, and will make people to give to you not only low ratings, but will make people to put you in a box and say, look, this is a fundamentalist Christian that probably, if he will have a much more faith, if he will read literally this verse, he will kill someone that don't have the Sabbath and don't follow Jesus or whatever. I think you're not that far away. Not that, I think you are far away of this kind of people, but I don't think that you are thinking in this way. So my single encouragement is just to calm down your message, to make it more informative, more not sane, because I don't want to say it's insane or message because it's offensive, but to be more down to earth. Okay, this is it. Sorry if you feel offended. As a Christian, I will say to you, if you feel offended by any mean, if you want to say to someone about God, don't necessarily attack evolution or put people in boxes, like whatever. I do believe in evolution, you can attack me, I have no problem with it, but don't go that far to do it in direct, dishonest, hatred way, because will give no help to anyone. Okay, this is all my rant. I know it's boring, I'm not an authority, but I say it for your best. Okay, bye bye.